Hey, all right, all right. How's it going? This is Horror Talk Radio with your host, MrDeadman. All right, of the deadmanstome .net, where we have horror stories and creepypasta there. California is on fire. It's burning. It's like the end days over there, end game over there. It's red skies, and it's trending right now. 2020 apocalypse. Because, of course, the little narcissist over there in California and Hollywood land and pedo land, they're going to look at this, what's happening to them, as the whole world. Oh my God. When in actuality, the skies in Texas, nice and blue. The skies in Florida, nice and blue. You know why? We don't have that dry climate. We don't have a bunch of those exploding trees. I mean, they literally plant a bunch of trees that will explode when they get hot. They will burst into flame. That's insane over there. That's insane over there. Anyway, our guest tonight, Robert Lilley, who probably wants me to take that name out because he has written a book that is so edgy, you could say, so extreme that he probably just wanted to go by his pen name. How's it going?
Not too bad there, Mr. Deadman. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, but are you doing okay? Because let's talk about this extreme book. I understand that, I believe you told me it's so extreme that a mistress had a problem with it. Is that right?
We had we had a few reviews come through. Most people are quite shocked, which is nice. And we had someone who was a sub, and they were very disturbed, especially by the final scene, because they have a mistress, and their mistress would never treat them like that. So, yeah, it's good. It's nice to write something and get some, should we say, interesting reviews.
That is an interesting review. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this episode is going to get a little adult here. This book, in case you haven't got the hint, is horror erotica. Okay, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, it's in fact I find the blend interesting. You know, so I understand the book is called The Collared Kitten. What's going on with this?
Yeah, it's the Collar Kitten, which is a prestige club in Soho, where people of, should we say, elitism can go to solve their little needs. Some people there, it's a little bit more, which is the book basically follows Crystal, who's got out of a few psychological problems, let's say, and managed to escape to London.
I was gonna say, I would imagine. So, I don't know. I haven't seen the studies. I don't know, but is there some sort of overlap between psychological problems and maybe wanting to be a kitten, wanting to be a sex kitten?
That's where it sort of comes down to. I mean, the kittens, and there's tomcats in there as well for people who it's who are after that. The kittens are there to look after, in any way, the requirements of the clientele. So that's the idea. And this girl just sees a chance to gain a better life than where she is currently, living on the streets and living house to house. So she's willing to do anything to get this better life.
Sounds like sounds like actresses in Hollywood. Sounds like the chicks to go to Hollywood, right? Willing to do anything and everything. Suck on that dick for that nice role. Oh God. Okay. And it sounds like just billionaires. I mean, isn't it what billionaires and the elite do? They have sex clubs and have brothels and shit. Are you there? Wait, what happened? Did I lose the guest? He's gone. What happened? Did he leave? Was he kicked out? Oh God, they got him. They got him. They got him. I made a reference to fucking Hollywood. I made a fucking reference to Hollywood, to Pedowood, and they got him. They got us. Ah. Oh, man. Jesus. Okay. Maybe I can get it back in. Let's see. While waiting for that, let's take a look at some of these reviews. Okay. So currently right now, this book actually has 4 stars. 4 stars right here. It's published August 26, 2020. A lot of people are giving it love. If you don't like erotica horror, I totally understand. It's not your bag. And for those wondering, from what I understand so far, I don't think it. I think this is just straight up erotica horror. Like, I have to say this because of the stuff that I've been talking about on earlier streams and stuff. There's no this. From what I gather so far, there's no. Let me just put it this way: there's no cheese pizza in this. Okay, there's none of that crap in this. I hope not, anyway. I hope not. Right? I mean, there's no cheese pizza. If you don't know what that means, FBI code. Come on now. Come on. Anyway, let's see what's going on with Robert. What's going on? The call. I see he's back in, but he needs to, I guess, push the button. All right, let me give him a call. Let me call him. Look, technical issues on the show, huh? It happens. It happens. All right, let me read some of these reviews, though. Let's take a look at some of them on the screen here. Let's see. You got a 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars out of 5 stars. Brutally exciting. I read it in less than a week. Simply couldn't put it down. Each page, either excited or terrified. Sure, it has sex, but this isn't just an erotic book. It's a fearful journey into the depths of depravity. 5 stars. By Julia Morris. Julia Morris. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not. Man, if there's anything, if you haven't learned this already from 50 Shades of Grey, women are perverts, man. Women are just perverted. Absolutely are. When 50 Shades of Grey came out, and just about all these housewives across America were eating it up. You have school teachers reading it, school faculty reading it. You have nurses reading it, doctors reading it. Why? Why? Because they're perverts. They're into that stuff. All right, let me see what's going on with the guests. Let me see. We're having... I think he's having some issues with Discord real fast. Let me join his call again. What is going on here? Where did he go? What happened here? Wow. All right, one moment here. And you guys said PO's dying inside? Phantom Organization watching the kill stream? Yeah, watching the kill stream is going to kill you. It's going to gut you. That's absolutely sure. I'm positive about that. I'm positive about that. All right. We're back in the call.
Look,
There we go. There we go. Hey, Robert, are you there?
I'm there.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
what happened there. Sorry about that.
And I don't know. I talked about Hollywood, talked about Pedalwood, and it was just too much. So, anyways, tell us about your book, Collared Kittens. I read a little bit of the reviews. Tell us about this book, and really, the hard sell is going to be try to pitch it to those that are probably like on the fence about horror erotica. Probably wouldn't even give it a chance. Go.
Well, the as I say, the idea is it follows Crystal, who has nothing and uh, is introduced to this club, and this is where the story then begins. The erotica basically is really is part of what is going on in this world, and it's not added there just for no reason. It's what the club is about. It's what people go there for, and it's why they want these kittens and these tomcats to be able to make use of. Um, and then from there, we get this Crystal who's had a few issues, should we
Mm-hmm.
say, psychological issues. And we have her daddy, who is, or master, but he prefers to be called daddy,
Okay.
just that little bit of twist for her. And this then leads into, as I say, our erotica, and then leads into our horror side of things.
All right. All right. Now I have some questions, of course. Just before we get any further in this book, do you know what when I say cheese pizza? Do you know what I'm talking about? That do you know what I mean?
That must be an American term, is it?
It's an FBI term. Pepperoni pizza,
Uh,
cheese pizza, four cheese pizza. Are there kids in your book?
no, 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 no,
Okay, good,
no.
good, good,
It's not an area I would definitely go. These are
good.
grown adults making their own
Grown
decisions.
adults
So
making their decisions. Good. Let me tell you how far I've gotten on these morning live streams lately on YouTube. I don't know how, but just by every single fucking stream, the word pedo gets mentioned because of fucking degenerates on YouTube doing stupid shit. We got some sick fuckers around
no,
us. So so
yeah, no. We're
you
with this book. We are not going down that road
okay.
in any way. These are grown up people,
Okay.
and it's not something I'd want to write about anyway. That
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you on that. Okay. All right. Now, daddy. What is the daddy thing? Is that a is that a Freudian thing? Is that a power
well,
thing?
this is
What is
caused
that?
quite a thing. Different people I've chatted to have different views on this, and some are so anti. But some people, they get quite a kick from it. Some say it's the Freudian thing, but this is really his way. Robert Alexander, who's one of the people within the club, it's his way of, should we say, pushing that little bit of control. Mm, it's instead of master, you will refer to me as daddy. So she has to lower herself to do that if she wants what she's trying to gain.
Damn. And there are chicks that are into that stuff. I mean, I
Oh
know
yeah,
there are, but I mean, quite a bit, right?
yeah. I think with the girls, it seems to be either yes or no, to quite a degree. Some are so anti. I would never call anyone that. But others, it's a bit of fun,
Mm.
bit of a laugh. And then there are some, instead of master, you are the daddy. So, you know, it's whatever floats your boat. If you're happy with who you're with and that you want to go down that road, then go for it. Enjoy life.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned what grown adults do, as long as it doesn't really affect me. But now, let me ask this though. Though, if I have opinions, I'll definitely say it. I'll definitely express it. Um, do you think there's any overlap between the cliche term "daddy issues" and the chicks that want to call a man daddy? Think there's any overlap there?
Uh, Um, in again with the book, no, this is just his issue.
Mm,
You will call me that.
okay.
I think with chicks in life, there's probably all sorts of different reasons why some of them get the kick for it. And I think some blokes, it's some want it, and some they just want it for a giggle, bit of fun. Instead of being a master, they want to be daddy.
Okay.
You know, I think what two adults get up to is up to them. You know, so long as it doesn't hurt anyone else.
Now, in this book, you would classify it as a erotica horror versus horror erotica, right?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
It definitely is a horror. It's very, very dark all the way through. But there is there's quite a bit of erotica to it. Yeah.
Okay. What is the what is some of the most disturbing horror elements in this book?
Well, the final scene, which I obviously don't want to give
Yeah,
away on that,
you don't want to give away the money
is
shot.
considered.
You don't want to give away the money
Yeah,
shot,
yeah,
but
exactly.
give us
That has
a
been
teaser.
considered very horrific. And that was the scene also that this sub said they found very disturbing. It sort of accelerates to that, but it's not a vanilla 50 Shades at all. There's a lot more to it. The daddy is quite happy to punish any, should we say, argumentativeness.
Oh, he'll slap a bitch.
So
He'll slap a hoe.
ah, not slap he'll put you over at his knee, or he'll get the crop out, you know, anything
Oh,
like this.
spank.
So
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
not talking this fight violence. He doesn't do any of
Okay.
that. You sit across his knee, and then you will be spanked. He's not going to force you. You make the
But
choice.
she's not gonna like it.
He's that powerful.
But she's not gonna like it, or she's gonna kind of like it, or something like that.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do it, but the end result she wants, so she's willing to do it.
Hmm.
You know, she wants this life of luxury. So
And what I
I'm
asked
afraid to say it's
before we got cut off was like, this book, when you're describing it, it sounds like just like the lifestyle of like certain billionaires, elites, and shit like that. Because you hear about them living this sort of way, going to brothels, having these fucking sex parties, these fucking orgies, and having these Harlems.
yeah. I think it's sort of you can see a similarity. As I say, the only difference is this has that dark element, so it's not just there's a little bit more to it than just a power thing, which comes out in one of the scenes. So that's where the dark side comes in. You realise there's a little bit more to this Robert Alexander than just an elite businessman or an elite man of money. There's something dark about him. Something very dark, actually.
Something very dark. I'm trying to. I wonder if we can guess what it is. I wonder.
Well, again, that's for the reader. You need them
he likes.
to follow it.
Is there in this book? Is there any thumbs going into asses?
There is there's no worrying about. That's just an option.
That's just an
So
option. Okay.
there's no limitations in this book.
Okay, but imagine that the chicks wipe their ass though.
One would hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Well, unless that's your kink, but in this book, that's not his kink.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Okay. So writing this book, have you had any sort of pushback from other writers, especially other horror writers?
The shame of, I think the biggest part of it is I sort of got into lots of different areas and following different writers and things, and you don't seem to get a really positive vibe from them, which is a real shame. Some are really good, some are really, really good, and they're saying, you know, wish you well. They'll retweet or whatever your details, but then you'll get others that just totally blank it, which is such a shame because we're all out there trying to produce something for people to enjoy, you know, and you just think everyone would support everyone. But you know, that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? You know,
what do they say? Like, what do the nays? I guess the guys that give you the pushback or the hard time. Like, what did they say?
Well, the hardest bit is the fact that they won't even mention it. It gets totally ignored, and
Mm,
that's a shame. When previously you might have pushed theirs, um, and but that's become quite apparent, and you sort of learn who's sort of on side and wants people to succeed, and who actually doesn't want anyone else to. So
okay.
that was quite a shock to me, though. I did get a warning that was the case, because obviously this is quite a virgin work for me, and yeah, and I was quite surprised. I thought there'd be a lot more support from the similar people.
Now, I can imagine that because I mean, there's some. I've ran into some, I guess you call them like Puritans or whatever, that do not want any sort of sex at all in horror. Don't want any sort of erotic elements in horror at all. Like just keep it. I guess just keep it serial killers, keep it monsters, keep it gothic, keep it creepy, but no sex. No titillating, no titillating elements at all. It's like for me, it's like why? Like I don't have a problem with like gruesome violence, extreme murder, or gothic stuff. I also don't have a problem with like sex in it or erotica in it. Like, you know, if people like it, they like it, right? And there's clearly a market for this, and we're not.
Absolutely, Mr. Deadman, you're totally right here. The erotic horror market seems to be on the up, um, and this book, it sits around that. I'm afraid that's where it sits. It is an erotic horror. It couldn't be written any different. It is that's where it sits. It sits in this club, which is related to that. And people have the choice. If they're really not into it, they then don't have to read the book. Um, I must admit, it obviously has shocked a couple of people. They probably didn't realise it was quite as dark as they they thought, and quite as sexy as they thought. Or I can't use the word sexy, as erotic. Um, but why would I take something out of a book when that is where it's based? That would be really weird. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it would be a very silly book then.
Right, right. It would be, and and it's not like it's illegal. It's not like it's really taboo or anything like that. We're just talking about mixing erotica and horror together, and some people have a problem with it. I guess just see it as smut, see it as just maybe they see it as being cheap, being too easy, but maybe they think of like 50 Shades of Grey, which is honestly, I mean, that's a bad example because that is pretty cheap and pretty easy. I mean, that literally started off as a Twilight a fanfic. Uh,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so I get
This is nothing like 50 Shades. As I say, I did watch it once, and I did find it. I should have read the book as well, but I did watch the film, and I actually found it extremely vanilla and quite boring. And to be quite honest, 50 Shades is not really a sex film or an erotica film. It's a love story, basically. Not It wasn't my cup of tea.
right.
The Collar Kitten is not that. It's raw. It deals. It covers what the club is. It's not softly on anything. It is hardcore, and showing exactly what's going on.
And that's how it should be. I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, like with 50 Shades of Grey, that was crap. I mean, what are they supposed to do? You're taking what's pretty much an amateur, a light, a smut light book and turning it into a movie. Why? Like someone could just go to Pornhub and see what 50 Shades of Grey was trying to do. Now, if your film, if your book was a film, like how would it be, right? What rating would it have? Could it ever be made?
I don't. Your ratings over there. I'm not sure if you have these triple X's or anything. If they made it true to the book, over here it would definitely be an X if it got released. Um, there is someone actually looking at the moment. They want to base a film on it, so which is quite nice.
Hmm.
But there are changes to be done for that, which is the normal when a film comes out. It's always just based on. But yeah, it would definitely. You couldn't make it anything if you turned it into a 15, which a lot of films seem to like to do because they get more people going to see it and it bigger makes the market bigger. You wouldn't have the film it is. It's not meant to be a nice little movie. The book is a horrific book. The horrific things happen, and that's hopefully why people buy it, because they want that escapism. They want to read horror, and this one happens to be an erotic horror. So, it's just a little bit extra.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you can't turn this into just a 15 movie, or I guess that would be equivalent to like PG-13 over here. You it would have to be some hardcore shit, right?
Totally. As I say, we go to areas in the book that you don't tend to see on films, so they would have to be filmed in a particular way. But you sometimes you can film things so well now that you don't necessarily need the should we say the what would you call it, the actual shots of what's going on, but you can make the film really you know exactly what's going on.
Hmm.
And there's also parts of the book that where we go into more of the dark areas, and again, in my mind I can see this playing out, and you don't need the full coming on shot, but you could do it so well. I even see this, sometimes play it through in my mind, and I can see this book even as the Magna type of book. Um, yeah, I think it can be done.
Okay. Now let's get even sleazier here. What happens in this collared kitten club thing? Like, what's going on here?
Well, there's not much, I suppose, that doesn't go on, but basically, these clients that are in the club, um, they have these kittens who will take care of them in any way that they require, whether that's
Kittens.
just
So like Japanese
yeah,
girls with like cat ears.
they will be dressed with their collar, which will basically mean that you're marked once you have the mark in your little collar there, and then you service your clients. Same as the tomcats, they will service their clients. So it covers both sides of the coin. And then basically the if we take Robert Alexander, he meets up with Crystal, and then their story continues outside the club,
I mean,
and
cat
we get
chicks.
to
I mean, it sounds pretty hot. I mean, if I wasn't a married man, it would sound like a fantasy, you know. Um, but being married, I had to say, oh no, I'm good. Oh shit! But I could see how it can get crazy in there, and somehow within that stuff, there's some dark, twisted horror elements. Like, I know you don't want to give away the ending. I know I'm kind of like really getting you to tease with something there. Is there a body
yeah. I
count?
mean,
Is there a body count?
Mr.
Is there some
Deadman,
blood? Is there something like?
Mr. Deadman, there is there actually is a limited body count, but that's because the whole thing is leading to this horrific ending,
Ooh,
and
okay.
it's even though you say you're a married man, there's nothing stopping you from being daddy now and again. But let's not get into your private life, but we can talk after about that.
I'll talk to my therapist about that. Okay. All right. What's been the feedback like for this book?
Feedback's been excellent. Within on Amazon, mainly, do excuse me, 5 stars. On Goodreads, 5 stars. So feedback's been Absolutely amazing. Really, really happy. Most have said how shocking it was. Most have said that it's an horrific read, but we've had no low stars.
Hmm.
So it's been up in the charts. It did the usual dip that books do, but then it's been back up again. It tapered off a little bit, then it's been back up. So there's definitely an interest out there, and people seem to be reading. We've even had, when I say we, I'm talking about my co-author as well. We've had people come to the send actual emails across, or send a review via Facebook. So it's nice to get the reviews, and I really do appreciate the reviews, whether they're good or bad. I really want the reviews, because that tells me whether this is something people want, whether we continue down this road. I mean, currently I'm writing one that's probably a bit more dodgy,
Mm.
uh, a bit more horrific, and I'm also working on a children's book as well. So, but the feedback I get from that helps. I think it's the greatest thing is the feedback.
Did you get any sort of pushback from Amazon? Well, I mean,
No, no, no. Amazon really, everything's gone reasonably smooth there. Linking up with them was some issues, but that was technical issues.
okay,
But had no issues with Amazon. It's gone quite well. So
okay, and I see that you
um,
you went through a publisher, like so. This was not self-published, like you went through a publisher.
yes, I wanted to do via a publisher. It's just as I suppose I saw how I wanted. That's how I saw it to go. If we hadn't got a publisher, then I'm sure we would have self-published. But
Okay,
it's nice to have that publisher out there. I mean, they've now got us into foils, which I don't know if you have in the US, but that's a big store. And they got us into Waterstones as well, which is a major store over here. So it's nice to be able to see that. And I just need to now travel to that store because I want to get a photo of the book on the shelf.
okay, yeah. The reason why I asked is because I know that some people have difficulty when they publish horror erotica or just erotica in general, self-published, that they they run into some difficulty because sometimes certain words you might use will trigger something. Um, but I think it looks like the publisher knows, even if they ran into that trouble, they probably know how to get around it and maybe some backdoor methods. You learn that stuff on the fly, pretty much.
Yeah.
I had to personally with no safe word.
Well, there's no. I would say if any words were going to be flagged up, they would have definitely been flagged. There's no namby pambiness in this book. It is quite raw. So yeah, no, I'd say then either we've just been very lucky, or as you say, the publisher has put it out there as it needs to go out there. And that's part of the reason of using a publisher. They deal with that side of things. I work, so I couldn't have time faffing around with that. So
Right,
I know I can leave it in their hands.
right. Okay. So, and what are some things that really grind your gears, piss you off about publishing horror and writing?
I think the biggest thing is, especially in this technical age, is the time things take. I was really lucky when we were subbing the manuscripts. We got picked up very quickly, which is really good. But then everything is so slow. When it goes on to Amazon, it just seems to take forever. Remember, this is my Virgin book, so I was probably really, really excited, ready to explode, just get it out there attitude. But it just seemed to delay. And then when it was meant to go up that first day, it didn't appear. There was a technical issue. So it took a couple of extra days.
Hmm.
So I suppose that's the hardest thing. I'm not used to this. Um, it seems a little bit archaic way, but it's probably as quick as it can be. But nowadays I can go on the TV or internet, bang, I can load whatever I want within seconds. I've got it. It just
Right,
seems a bit.
right.
bit
Uh,
old fashioned.
I wonder. So there was a delay. How long was the delay?
Well, it probably took from when we got accepted. Obviously, you have to go back and forth with your manuscripts,
Right.
editing. But then it probably took quite a few. It took quite a few months before we got to the final edit. And then once that was done, it seemed a long time. It really did. It was
Just
probably a couple of months,
a couple
which
months.
probably isn't that long. But when
Okay.
you're waiting for something to be there, and you need to see it there because it was my first time, so I
Mhm.
needed to see that this had happened. This was happening. There wasn't a glitch that was going to stop it all. I
I
wanted the story out there.
I get that. I do, and I don't know the inner workings of this publisher of Britain's next bestseller, but from my experience, and I'm a small guy. I pretty much do everything on my own, except sometimes I get some help with the cover or someone to help edit, someone I trust. But even then, I'm just that process after I accept a story or accept a book. It could take a while, and it's like there's some editing involved in that. There's also waiting on cover or waiting on art, and some of those things can't be rushed. And it's not like I'm adhering to a certain particular deadline for a hard reason. So when it's ready to come out, it should just be fine. Uh,
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they don't get me wrong. They were really supportive, and even with my constant emails, what's happening,
mm,
their patience with me was amazing. They're used to it. It's the normal
right,
process.
right.
But being a noob, I was desperate to see it happen. I was
And
like I was like the Virgin. And I'd just gone into this college or gone into the ladies' showers in a sports center or something. I'm like, oh my god, I just want. But they were really really good. So I can't knock our publishers. As you say, it's the process.
yeah.
It's what it is. But yeah, I didn't want to rush it. That's the confusing thing. I
Mm,
really wanted it to be right. I wanted everything to be right. I didn't want
mm.
to rush it out there. I wanted people who read it to have the best I could give. Um, but I also wanted it out there now.
Right, right, and I get that. I get that. Uh I guarantee you, the publisher probably feels the same way. Um, like, Dead Man's Tome is still sitting on Hollywood Holocaust. That's a title right there. What do you, if I told you Dead Man's Tome Hollywood Holocaust, like, what do you think that book is about?
Sounds rather interesting, actually. We're not in the zombie realms, are we?
No, no. Though there is kind of this weird zombie story where, like, I guess old characters, old side characters, background characters of Hollywood productions come out of, like, for some reason, and start rampaging through Hollywood, it was hilarious the way it was done. But it's all the stories are based around celebrities getting their due, pretty much, by serial killers, monsters, all the sorts of good stuff. And that was put out. The submission call was early this year. Everything has been approved. The issues together. I I was hoping for an August release, but now we're September. You know,
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
some delays. There's delays, and
And of course, the pandemic hasn't helped. That
sure, yeah,
seems to have slowed a load of stuff down. So
right, right, and I have to, of course, there's people like, oh, where's the book? Where's it? When is it coming? Don't worry, it's coming. It's just, you just gotta have to take your time. It's when everything's together, then be fine. It'll be finished. It'll be completed, and then I can release it. I don't want to release a unfinished product.
too right. Yep, yep. I would hate that. To put a product out there and there's gaping holes in there. I mean, people always find things.
Yeah.
I'm sure whatever they read. I mean, I can I can read or watch something and think, oh, there's a hole there. But if I enjoy the actual thing, why am I worried about the hole? it worked for me.
And that sounds like innuendo. Why are you worried about the whole? We're talking about colored kittens here. Jesus Christ.
I'm back in the club.
You're back in the club. Oh man, but yeah, that stuff that weight can be annoying. What about horror? Like you feel like things have gotten tame, especially like let's say movies. Like you think things have gotten kind of sterilized, kind of tame.
Oh, Mr. Deadman, you're spot on now. I do find that a lot of the uh, movies now are very, very similar, and they tend to rely so much on special effects, the splash blood. That's not even the old days where they used to have a little pump spurting it out. It seemed
Oh
to were
yeah,
much, much better.
that's how you did it.
I still love the classics. Were the like the 1980s. I think they were like the Burning, which was an absolute fabulous movie for a slasher movie, but got banned over here, got taken off the shelves as a video. And I love Phantasm. Something about Phantasm really hit me because it was different. It was that the story was different. The characters were so different, and the tool guy was absolutely fabulous. And the tool guy, I actually see him to a degree as almost the club manager. I can see him peering out at people, keeping an eye on them, making sure they're behaving.
Now, hold on. Doesn't the UK? I mean, you guys banned quite a bit of horror movies, right?
Back in the day, yeah, there were loads taken off the shelves. I think even The Evil Dead was taken off. They went
Yes.
through a
Yes.
major banning thing. Remember, we were only soft porn for many, many, many years. So you couldn't get the other stuff. That's why loads of stuff was. They used to have stuff sent in from some of the Scandinavian countries and that in brown wrappers everywhere. And then it's more recently, as the internet's opened up, that the horror genre has been a lot freer. It's like The Burning, as I said, that was banned, but that was actually on terrestrial TV. I think it was the Horror Channel. Sorry, are we allowed to advertise?
No,
And it
that's
was
yeah, yeah,
brilliant to
yeah,
see
yeah.
it on.
That's crazy.
You know,
That something like Evil Dead was banned over there. I don't understand why. Like because the amount of blood. Because I know they used a lot of blood in that movie. A lot of fake blood.
I think that's it. They used to go into video stores if someone made a complaint. So someone goes and hires this horror film who doesn't like horrors, and then they put in a complaint. There was a good chance then it would go on the banned list. Our banned list was massive at one stage,
Man.
but we're a lot freer now. But you can go on
Wait, wait, wait.
TV on our country
Uh-huh.
and you can say the C word, whereas I know in some places you can't
Oh,
say that
you
word
can't
at all.
say cunt on America TV. I mean,
Yeah, see, we hear
you
it so often.
actually you could probably say cunt on American TV. I know you can because I heard it before, but you gotta reference the president because if you could say whatever you want if you reference him apparently, but if you just say cunt or call someone else a cunt, you can't do that. You know, you
Yeah.
you can't say something's very cunty, which is sad because that's a great word. It's a phenomenal. I
Yep.
like the word. Got to bring it back.
But no, over here, that's always. I think we've had words, whatever it is, whatever's. If you want to call it a swear word, a cuss word, whatever you want to call it, we've not had that issue for a long time. We often get the American stars on talk shows saying, we can say this word, and they'll do it. And we can. What about this? We can't do that in the US.
I mean, wait. So in the UK, on daytime television, will they say fuck?
They would do it on what we call after the watershed. So a lot of these chat shows would be after 9, when we consider most kids have gone to bed.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah. Wait, that's
and I don't see an issue with that.
that's more
The kids should be in bed.
that's more
Open up.
free speech than America there. You could say fuck on UK TV. What? What?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
Oh man, that's something there.
Well, I can remember the BBC, I think it was Radio 1, who bleeped out, oh God, there's a Grease Lightning,
Hmm.
and there's two words he said, and I think it's arse and shit. And so he was on the radio station and he'd be singing away, beep, and they used to bleep it out. They don't do it now, but when Grease was out, they actually bleeped out these two words that
Hmm.
the BBC thought were disgraceful.
Uh, can't talk about ass. Can't talk about shit. Nope. Uh, okay. Well, wait a second. Wait a second. I've heard something years ago. I don't know if this is true. That you guys need a license for porn. Is that true? Is that true? Do you guys in the UK, do you have to pay like a special ticket or license for porn?
They brought a new law recently where all internet providers had to block any porn or items like that. And what you need to do, you need to contact your. Are you planning to come over here? Is this what you're finding out? Anyway, um, there,
Maybe
and
to
you have to
visit.
contact your supplier, and you have to request to
Your
have that
supplier.
section switched on.
I like the supplier. It sounds like a drug deal, but okay.
Yeah,
Gotta contact.
so you don't pay more, but you have to. The idea is, I think for some people it causes a bit of embarrassment because people know that you could be watching that. But it doesn't just cover porn channels; it covers a whole load of channels. So you might actually be
Wait,
looking at something quite um, totally the other end of the scale. But for
okay,
some
so
reason, it comes under this. You have to agree to accept this type of material.
you don't pay, but you don't pay more.
You don't pay any more. No, once you've accepted. So I've been told anyway. You don't pay any more.
Let's see. Man, I mean, if you don't pay anymore, then that's kind of so. It's just to shame you. Well,
Exactly.
the only way the shame game would work is if you'd have to explicitly say the title, I guess. But even then, like if you're in the mood for like, I don't know, uh, anal sluts 9, backdoor sluts 9, you're just gonna call your provider and be like, yeah, I want backdoor sluts 9. I used to
Yeah,
I used to work for
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say what you're saying is right. The idea is to shame people. You tick. I can't remember. There's a whole load of boxes. Yeah. Just allow it. And then yeah, everything. But the other thing I think over here is you can now go. I don't know where you go, but you can go and request to see someone's what they've downloaded or viewed. I think that's like an open area now to a degree. So um, yeah, if you
So
if you're a bit worried about being shamed, then it's best you don't sign up for it.
wait. Can anyone see your history?
From what I've been told, that's now something that can be done. Yeah, you can go.
Anyone?
I don't know how you do it. I've never been interested to see what other people are interested in.
Anyone?
But there,
Your
but
neighbor could see your porn history.
you can see that whatever you've been streaming or flowing, but I'm not sure what depth it goes into. I've only been told that. I've never tried.
Hmm.
But that again is a shame thing. It's to trying to get people to avoid doing that.
Good luck on
We're
that.
very much on shame over here. Us British, stiff upper lip and all that.
Yeah, good luck on shaming people. I used to work at Dish Network, and it's a satellite provider, and they would call in at times to order specific pay-per-view, adult pay-per-view, because maybe the order didn't go through right or something. Actually, there was one way you could order it by phone. You can call it in and order it. Um, so they would say the specific title, like "Cum Guzzlers 9." I'm stuck on the number 9. Jesus,
Let,
you know,
let me just
uh,
write that one down. I'll
cum,
watch that later.
cum Guzzlers, Snowballs, Queen Snowball, and, and Princess
Oh
Jizz
man,
Hair.
that's
I don't know. And then their Bukkake Party, shit like that. But yeah, they would say it, and of course, in the background, you hear like what sounds like a party happening, drinks being made, and maybe the chick when
Yeah.
she's ordering it, because it's usually a chick that's calling in, ordering it. Maybe she might sound like she's a little drunk. Might sound like she's smoking on something. But like, oh, okay, yeah, no shame, no shame. But then again,
Yeah.
that's America. It's
You
really,
enjoy.
man. Okay, about people having access to your history. I mean, is that their way of shame? Is it their way of busting the pedos? Because if it's busting the pedos, then hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if that, I'm totally for that. But we have people that just follow the IP addresses and nick people for that.
Good.
So they're very good at doing that. I'm just to say I've never bothered doing it, but it was said that you can do, and part of that was to do this control thing that some people wouldn't then sign up because their neighbours might know what they've been viewing. Hey, if people want to know what I've been viewing, then go ahead. It's all grown up stuff. We're all grown ups.
Your neighbor starts asking you some questions about some things. Oh man.
They might be a bit shocked, but hey, Sylvie, there's nothing bad.
You know, one thing I got to ask you, kind of going back to the theme of your book, or not really necessarily the theme. I guess yeah, the theme, because in the book, like the main character, the chick, like she's wanting a better life from being on the streets to being in this I guess sex club thing, right?
Yeah, it's well, she's hoping to link up with one of these elitism, so obviously get a good life then.
Okay. Um, how how do you feel about how that translates to like real world situations where Hollywood. We mentioned it earlier on this stream, on this episode, but Hollywood. When the chicks go to Hollywood for a role, and it's like, okay, yeah, you can have this role, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for it? You know, are you willing to throw away your dignity for starring in Harry Potter or something? You know, what are you willing to do? How do you feel about
It's
that?
quite Yeah, it's quite dodgy ground, isn't it? I think same as we've had similar things over here, not obviously as big as the Hollywood movies, but where people have where they've been forced and where there's been underage and other things, they've been done for it, and that's so they damn well should be.
Yeah.
But where people have gone in knowingly and they've offered their sex to get a head start, whether it's
Hmm.
in a business, whether it's in a movie, whether it's to get a book published. I mean, things we do as authors. Um, it's to a degree their choice, so long as there's no force, no need. I think things can get a little bit unfair. I'm willing to sell my body to get this on there. Now I'm big. Now I'm going to do you because I feel that you made me do it. I
Right.
think there's a
Right.
very dodgy ground.
It's
But
it's
forced, I've got no time for. If someone forces themselves, or this thing where they say they use their power, then
Yeah,
that's
that's the angle that some people say. Oh, they're being coerced. Oh, the guy, someone like Weinstein had power. Blah, blah, blah. It's okay, yeah. They have power. They're offering something. They're offering a role. What they could do right there, the chick could be, I'm not going to do that, and turn down the deal. Or if she was smart, film the whole thing and I guess out him, but then she would not get a role, and then I don't know. I don't know what the end game of that would be, really. But
so
she,
that's where I suppose we hit the dodginess, isn't it? Because it's like when I go for a job, I should be reviewed for what I can put into the job,
mm,
what I can put into the role. I think if you're being coerced to, if you drop your panties, then you can have a role. Then we've crossed the line, I suppose. If I go in to see the director and I automatically drop, or I meet them in a pub and I do
yeah,
whatever I want to do just because I think that's going to get me somewhere, then I think you're putting yourself in a different
and
role.
that's what happens
But
too. Like, like it's not just Weinstein. All right, it's. I mean, Hollywood's filled with this shit. It's not done. Casting couch is still going on now.
yeah,
you know, in these chicks and guys, they'll mingle with the producers, with the directors. They'll do favors to get closer in their circle. You know, willingly, willingly. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing. You know, it's like they're doing it for money the same way an escort would. I don't see much of a difference when I look at it when I compare it to like escorts and hookers. It's like you're pretty much doing it for money. You're doing it for fame. You're doing it for attention. It's if you're being raped, that's one thing, but if you're doing it to get ahead, oh, and then you want to cry about it later, you know, okay, okay, all right, have fun with that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So long as I say, so long as there's no coerce or force,
Mhm.
or if you want this promotion, you best get on your knees.
Yeah.
Then, but if you, yeah, I think when someone uh, puts themselves out there, goes to the clubs that they know that someone's going to, so they can do it, and you know, then I think that's they're putting themselves there. I mean, the difference is if I'm in a position of trust, of a where we've had quite a bit of trouble in schools and things,
Oh yeah.
where you know, the children come on to a teacher, then you're meant to be in a position of trust, and you are meant to say, you know, no, go, no, stop, you don't do this or whatever, and report it along the way, whatever. And that's where I think that whole idea then isn't acceptable, obviously, because we're talking about kids, and
Oh
they,
yeah.
they, they're going to get there, but you've got to say no. I mean, we have quite a few cases of where that's happened in the past,
Oh definitely,
and
and
still going on.
we have to exterminate that. That stuff is a fucking
Yeah,
disease. I've said some crazy shit. I'm not gonna say it with you here what I think should happen with them. Put them on the list. Figure out who they are. That they are not allowed to work anywhere near kids, be around kids at all. They could, nope, nope. Can't trust them. Can't trust them.
yeah. Well, they say that even if it's this disease thing, it's or mental illness, it still doesn't matter. It's you've got that illness. You cannot be trusted.
Right, right.
Um,
Oh
and then that's done. So, but that, you know, that's on a totally different
yeah, totally different
ideal,
thing.
and that's unacceptable, isn't it? You know,
It is.
basically.
It is. And I'll say, you know, I'm going on a no fap challenge, which is pretty much I'm not spanking my monkey, not masturbating. Okay, it seems kind of silly for a grown ass man in 37 to do. It's be like, you know, and the reason why I'm doing this because I'm the master of my domain. Like I don't have to be driven by my primitive needs, primitive urges. Instead of doing that, I'm married. I go, you know, lay with my wife. You know, there's no need for that. But on that, I wasn't going with that. I forgot what I was even mentioning that. With that, a lot of what's going on lately on, well, I guess a little bit on this channel is trying to, I guess, not be so perverted. But good luck on that. Good luck on that. I am who I am. Yeah. You know, if TNA, I can't turn away from that, you know? And man. But how do you feel about that? The whole like
Yeah.
no fap thing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm quite impressed you're doing that. I mean, if you're trying to be less perverse, you've got the wrong book on.
Oh, I'm not
Some of
worried
the things
about
that
that.
go on in
It's
there.
no. I'm not trying to be less perverse because I know
But
that I'm perverted, and people know. People know. Jesus Christ! They go look at the stream. They see a guy wearing glass shades indoors, smoking a cigar. It's like, okay, I bet they're talking about some fucking fucked up shit, you know. But the silver lining here, though, is that we're not fucking nasty. We're not. When I say nasty, it's perspective.
yeah,
Lately on these
absolutely.
streams, yeah, these YouTube streams I've
Yeah.
been doing, fucking pedo
Well, it's
shit's
the
been coming
same
out.
as the book. You know, whatever book. I'm not just pushing my one. or it's that might be written there. That doesn't necessarily mean that I want to do that to someone. I don't mean a sexual bit. It's that's all go. But like the killings and that doesn't mean I necessarily want to do that.
Right.
But so I can read it, but doesn't mean I'm going to go out in the street and then do whatever. That I Friday the 13th I might watch it, but again, it's a fantasy. It's that's the difference. And I
Okay.
think maybe that's where some people can't draw the line. I don't know. Um, but we have these interactions, books, films, whatever, and the idea is it allows us to step out of the real world. It allows us to not be in today's thing. But as soon as I step away from that book, step away from that film, we're back to the real world. And that's when we should be able to respect each other, whatever our views are, and whatever, whether one's got a kink, one's not, it doesn't matter. We should still be able to talk as human beings. Sorry, I've probably gone off on a different angle there,
It's
but
all right.
it
All
just
right.
annoys me
All right.
that people can't respect who we are. I might want to spank my monkey, you might not. Great, you want to watch me? No, but let's not cross that boundary.
All right. Now, on a lighter note, to shift gears here, since we're talking about erotica and horror, what are some sexy horror characters, sexy ladies in horror? Like when you think horror and you think some hot chicks, hot women, like what comes to mind?
Oh my God, there's so many, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to love Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, something about her was amazing. I mean, but nowadays there's so many movies. There's just so many chicks, scream chicks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unbelievable. But it's always I don't know that back in the day again there was always one where they would be doing it with their boyfriend, one with the shower. It always seemed to be a set thing. But Jamie Lee Curtis used to be my scream chick.
See, I rewatched the Addams Family recently. I gotta say, Morticia.
Yes, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Actually, yeah. So I don't actually think of that as that horror, but yeah, it's she was yeah. I think Morticia was something special. I can imagine her as being something special.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's a book we need. Actually, the private lives of the Addams family. Oh man.
Un- you, Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester's getting in on that. I mean, come on.
Oh man.
Gomez is
And
being
what was Hand called? He's going to be busy as well.
thing. Oh,
Thing,
Morticia
yeah.
uses tongue as a thing as a fucking dildo. Shit, goddamn.
Oh man, I got a new book.
And Gomez is probably getting cucked by. He's probably getting cucked. He's probably getting cucked by Uncle Fester and Thing and the Lurch. Lurch, I think his name was Lurch. The
Lurch, yeah.
yeah, the Frankenstein
Yeah.
guy, Frankenstein's monster guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Could do so much with that.
You could.
I've got to see if someone's done that. Someone must have taken the private lives of the Addams family somewhere. Surely.
There is a porn about everything right now. I'm sure there is a porn about the Addams family.
True.
I know
Yeah.
with 100% fact that there is, without even doing any research on that. I'm certain 100% that there is a porn based on the Addams family. Okay, if there's a porn based on the Rugrats, which is weird. What?
You're kidding me.
There-
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh God,
serious.
I'm not sure about that. That's just
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You have adults pretending to be, yeah. But I'm just saying that's there. They have a porn on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's they have a porn on Scooby Doo. They have porn on everything. They've done everything.
Oh yeah, now come on. the Scooby Doo gang. I can understand that.
right?
Oh, those girls.
But no one needs to be dressed up as Scooby though. Don't be throwing Scooby in that fucking mix.
Tell me they haven't done that. Oh no. Now
I
you're
hope
worrying
not.
me now.
That I know. And see, and I'm testing you. I'm seeing where your limits are. Okay, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm trying to see how far gone you are. No, but you're not. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, boy, girl, that's fine. You
Of
know,
course,
I'm
Deadman
quite
would
happy
know.
with that.
Sh-
Boy,
Shrek,
girl. I'm quite happy with that as well.
Shrek porn. Yeah, there's probably been Shrek porn too.
Oh yes, there has. Yeah, I think it was someone put something on Facebook about that.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
Oh God, rolling in the fucking swamp, butt ass naked. God dang it.
Hmm.
Now, this episode has gone quite sexual here, quite depraved, which I expected. I knew it was going to happen. Okay, for those who haven't heard already from the beginning, plug them your book one last time, where they can get it.
Cool. So it's the Collared Kitten, and which is a dark erotic horror, available from all, well, I suppose all good bookshops now, but from Amazon, Waterstones, and is also in foils on electric and now as a paperback, which is fabulous.
Nice. Okay. Cool. And it's been well received, well reviewed.
It's been really, I mean, 5-star reviews throughout. So, I mean, the good thing is people can now go on to these sites, Goodreads and Amazon, and see the reviews that are there. You know, the only ones obviously they can't see is the ones that are sent privately. But they'll see the reviews that are there. And anyone who's going to read it, it is an erotic horror, and it's a dark and it's gritty. But it's just I use this word in inverted commas, enjoy, and that's what it's meant to be. Enjoy the read.
I like that. Okay. Well, Robert Lilley, thank you so much for coming on the show. You guys in the chat, if you like this, you know what to do. Like, share. Come on. I mean, if you just want to share the end part and be like, what the fuck did MrDeadman talk about? Jesus Christ, are we sure about this guy? Feel free to do that too. Feel free to do that. I'm like a lightning rod for that shit. I like that shit. I like keeping them guessing, pretty much.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Deadman, I really appreciate you having me on as well. It's
Hey,
great to meet up again.
it's no problem. All right, guys, y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good one.